bubble tent.
Yeah, we're about to go in the jacuzzi after this.
The kids wanted to go in the jacuzzi so bad. I'm like, you guys should go get a jacuzzi. They should get one for their patio.
Yeah, we got this thing. I haven't posted anything really about it, but so on Amazon, you can get like a big bubble tent anywhere from there's like 8 feet, 12 feet, and it's actually a bubble and it's see-through plastic, like a bubble, right? And I see these all over the internet. I'm like, it's interesting. Some guys are on the internet in the winter. They'll turn it into a cigar room and put a heater out there and hang out there with their buddies so they're not smoking up the house, right? And then I see these cheap jacuzzis. They're like $400 for a blow-up jacuzzi. And then I was like, what if I put a jacuzzi inside of the bubble tent? And I didn't see this anywhere on the internet, so I did it. I should show it to you guys. So we have a bubble tent with a heater and jacuzzi and like a wicker rug and Christmas lights in there. And it's like a little outdoor patio with a jacuzzi. And it was all like under $1,000.
It's like we literally just step out 2 steps and we're in Florida. That's what I feel like when we're in there with the lights and everything and we're chilling. And it's like hot in there too. It gets hot in there. It gets like 85 degrees, 90 degrees. Keep the heater on, you know?
JJB says, Ashley, have him bring back the goofy gardener, the gardening goof.
Oh my God, I know. I love the gardening goof. I do love the gardening goof.
Let's get the microphone a little closer to you. What are you talking about?
That's how I fell in love with you. I fell in love with the gardening goof.
Elaborate, please. Tell this story.
Because back then, well, you told me what happened with the gardening goof and how you couldn't do the gardening goof anymore. But now you could do like a mini spin-off of the gardening goof. I always think you should. I think the gardening goof is awesome.
But the gardening goof takes it too far.
But that's why the goof and the goose.
Just keep the okasuna. So what do you think about the okasuna?
I think the goof is better than the okasuna.
Gosh.
But the okasuna is pretty good.
There's this part of me that just wants to go full-blown wackaloon Jim Carrey in the videos, and I always have wanted to.
I don't think you should all the time. Okay. Kalfases.
You know, like, dude, I grew up watching Jim Carrey, and you know how you have that crazy, like, but here's the problem. You can't do that on clients' properties.
I mean,
you just can't.
No, I mean, you can't. But I mean, I'm sure you have a couple clients that would get a kick out of it, you know.
Remember when I used to put you in the videos all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Then for 5 years, I didn't.
I was never in like anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of the times I was like, no.
Kalfases Carrie, you didn't want to be in the videos.
I didn't. I wasn't enough.
Huh?
I wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I do my own videos.
She has her own videos at her channel called Ashley Kalfases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy for me to do a video like it is for you, Mr. Keith. Keith can just go, bleh, video time. Me, I'm like, have to make a day out of it. I'm recording today, so don't bug me.
Dude, that's one thing I do suggest. If you get into YouTube or you like to make videos, so I'll make this quick. We were getting 400,000 views a month when I only had like 20,000 subscribers. Basically, here's what, how can I say this? There was this time, I think that everybody should have a period where they're completely in love and obsessed with what they're doing to the point where it's almost obsession. It's sociopathic in a positive way. And it could be your business. It could be art. It could be a time period when you get a beat machine and you're making music or you're playing guitar or you just love mountain hiking. For me, it was my landscaping business and making YouTube videos, but everything was about the video and it was to an unhealthy place. Like I would show up at family events with her and all my in-laws, my wife and her family at a restaurant for a birthday dinner. And you knew when I walked in because I'd show up late in landscaping clothes with the camera. What up, dog?
Wait, like, has anything changed? Has anything
I don't videotape anymore.
Mom, where are you? There she is.
Ashley's mom is on here.
Hi, Mama. Tell them how Keith is. He floats in and we call him the floater.
Tell us more.
Sometimes we'll call him the fluffer because he'll like fluff in and then like fluff out, you know?
That's not nice.
The fluffer? The floater?
What are you talking about?
Like, because you're like, you'll just like float in and like float around.
You guys say this about me?
Then all of a sudden he's gone.
Hey, here's
Nobody knows where he is, Listen. But then his truck will be leaving.
Yes. So.
But everybody loves you, so it's okay.
All right, now I have to say something in my defense.
Huh.
So you guys had 18 family events last year. I actually keep track of them.
Which is nothing.
Nothing?
You should see your family. You should make it a priority to see your family. You know how blessed I am to have a big family?
So I still show up to most of them. That's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a barn. We don't have that many family events.
No.
And your family is my real family. Like,
your family's your real family, too.
I know my family.
You need to make more of an effort, Mr. Keith.
I say, there you go. It's all coming out. I'm a workaholic.
Workaholic.
But here's the deal. I show up to most of the family events. I just like to drive separate because you get so comfortable. You want to stay to like 10, 11.
Which is fine. Drive separate. I'd rather you drive separate. We've already talked about this.
So I come in, I hang out for a few hours. It's food, hang out with everybody. And then I get out and get back to work. And it's a beautiful compromise.
I mean, it's no different from what my dad does. My dad does the same thing that you do. Comes in, floats in. Hi, everybody. And then floats right out. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny when we first got married, we had that little tiny 1-bedroom apartment. And your sister was over. Mm-hmm. And I came in. You know, when you carry groceries in, you try to put as many groceries as you can. You carry them all because you don't want to make an extra trip. And you're like lugging them up the stairs. Like efficiency. I brought all the groceries in the kitchen. I'm like, raw. My face is red. My fingers are all turning white from the bags. And I put it down right in front of the fridge, all of the groceries. And I open the fridge and I just start putting all the groceries away, like from a centralized location. And then your sister looked and she goes, he puts groceries away like dad. And then you both started laughing.
Well, because I don't really remember that. And I don't remember how my dad used to put away groceries. No. That's crazy how she remembers that.
Huh?
I don't remember that.
No?
No, I don't.
We all remember different things at different times.
I have a lot of memory loss.
I have a video recording on YouTube of every single one of yours and your mom's birthdays. Every single one. And it's all indexed and dated. And
thank you for that. Because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't document anything, Mr. Documenter.
So I always have the camera.
Always.
So this is dope.
You took over it from my Uncle Bill because my Uncle Bill passed away. And you took over for Uncle Bill. He always had the camera, and now you always have the camera. Your
Uncle Bill was awesome. I remember at the last Christmas event, he had this little expensive Bluetooth Bose speaker. Mm-hmm. He must have spent like $300-400 on the thing. God. And he was so proud of it, and it was playing Christmas music. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's really sad. I'm sorry about your uncle.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But, I mean, we're just saying you took over. So, good for you. The torch is passed.
Yes. Any questions, anybody? Very nice. I'm excited because this iPad, I'm buying one more wireless transmitter, and then the whole thing will be here on the iPad. So excited. Here, I'll show you guys.
Yeah, Keith, the studio came out nice. I haven't been in here. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I've been in here.
Since when?
Huh?
Since when?
It's been like a couple months. My gosh.
Since you've been in here?
Yeah. I have not been in here. The last time I came in here was when I cleaned. And I have not helped you clean in here for 2 months.
Yeah, I cleaned everything today. I pledged everything, wiped everything down, vacuumed.
The last time I was in here was when I was taking down the Christmas stuff.
That was on Christmas?
Yeah, I haven't been in here for months. This is your man cave.
This is the digital.
I don't come in here.
Man cave.
This is the Kalfas castle in here. The man Kalfas castle. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice in here. I would come in here and make videos too, but I don't know how to run any of this stuff that he's got going on.
Yeah, I'll show you the guys. Look at this video perspective. Real quick. Elite Landscape said, how long have you two been married? We are having our 25th anniversary this year. Dude, that is amazing. Congratulations. 25 years of marriage.
Wow.
How long have we been married, Ashley?
Awesome. 10 years this September. Can I tell them how long we've known each other?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got to do the math here. What's 16 minus 35? 21? 21 years we've known each other. 21 years we've known each other. We'll be together for 12 years in December. And 10 years, September 1st, we'll be married.
What?
Paul Rhodes said, my wife and I will celebrate our 10 year on Wednesday. Happy anniversary. That's awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like crazy because it's like 10 years. It's like, yeah, wow, that's a long time. But then it's like, literally, it feels like it literally went by in like a second, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. And those 10 years, you got a couple more gray hairs in there.
My beard went gray. I'm gray on the sides. I was actually really, I don't know if the word is insecure or depressed that my hair started going gray?
Oh, not me. I want to grow it out. I kind of want to grow it out. It looks like highlights. It's cool, kind of.
Wow, that's the first me hearing you say that.
Well, because there's more now. So like before it was just like wiry, like every once in a while. And now there's like more. So now it looks like highlights. It actually looks kind of cool. So
look at this. Jim Duffin, 14 years with this lady.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And it's like crazy because like the longer we're together, the more I'm obsessed with him.
With me?
Obsessed.
With me?
Yeah.
Why is this? Tell me more.
Because he's cute. Look at him.
What are you talking about? It's terrific.
Just want to smack him. That's how cute he is. Smack those dimples, right? Like Kalfases dimples off his face. It's like, how is that possible that you get more handsome? The wrong one. It's not fair.
Look, I can't even do a live without messing around with the technical stuff.
Yeah, stop it.
How is Ashley's business doing? And I can grow a rock and roll mullet if I do the garden goof.
Oh my God, Keith. That would be like so funny. If we put a mullet on you, oh yeah. There's questions coming in. Oh, okay. Let me just answer a question about my business real quick.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So the business, I don't know. Fast forward. I was sick for a couple years, shut it down, started it back up again. COVID happened, killed the restaurant business. Most of my business comes from restaurants. So of course sales were down. Then I started making masks, started selling those, kind of recouped up a little bit, stayed in business, thank God. And then now inflation, so I had to raise all my prices. So if you want something for me, it's a little on the expensive side, but it's handmade in Michigan, AshleyAprons.com. Everything's handmade by me. No manufacturing done. It's all in-house. So
AshleyAprons.com.
Yeah, all custom.
Wait, you didn't even say what you sell.
Oh, aprons, but masks. But I mean, masks aren't, nobody's wearing masks now, but aprons, like the full cooking aprons, waitress aprons, server aprons, customized, add pockets, add inches, anything that you can think of, you can do pretty much. Yeah.
There you go. And during the big pandemic, when everything was like locked down, she was sewing like hundreds of free masks for the hospitals and giving it away and donating her time.
Mm-hmm. Well, my aprons are cool though, because not just the ones that clip that I have a patent. I actually have a U.S. patent. I was the first to patent. So I'm the one that invented aprons that clip. But the other aprons that I started designing are like really fancy schmancy. Like they have like lace right here. Like they're different, one of a kind. So, but I mean, it's going okay. I have a media business too. So I do social media marketing and management.
She's really good at social media marketing and specifically messaging and copywriting. She can like look at a business and extrapolate what is the core message and then the value and then write a piece of copy. And she's really, really, really articulate.
Well, it's not even just that. I do everything, managing the blog posts, the websites, everything that you can think of, like the social media marketing, the YouTube channels, making the videos, editing the videos, so yeah, everything.
Is that good?
Very, very good.
Very, very good.
Yeah. I volunteer work for a nonprofit called Wife-a-Tron Home. They house homeless veterans in crisis in Roseville, Michigan. They have an 11,000 square foot facility. So I definitely feel a passion to help that organization with my skills and share that because they're changing the lives of veterans that go homeless because of all the issues that they face, So
that's really nice. She's come home like in tears over homeless veterans. Mm-hmm. So she really, really cares. And what's your ultimate dream?
My ultimate dream. Well, my ultimate dream would be to one day have my own kind of organization. But at first it started off with just the dog rescuing and animal rescue. But now I want to kind of branch into humanitarian stuff too. I literally just want to raise money and help animals and people. And just, that's all I care about. I used to want to be this like big designer and like, I have a patent and all this stuff. And have a store and I already achieved all that. And now it's like, what else do I want to do? That's all I care about. I just want to save animals and help people.
That's amazing. Saving animals.
Well, because I rescue all these animals all the time.
She really does. She'll
so it's like
drive like an hour to rescue someone, like like our little dog Gino, huh?
One time I drove 5 hours one way and 5 hours back to save a little dog that was literally this big. And it was horrible story, but this big. And we went, saved the dog, and the dog almost died a million times, the puppy. And my friend had actually ended up keeping her. She's like very healthy and vibrant now. She's got a little bit of problems with her legs, but other than that, I mean, so there's a lot of stories of like the rescues that we do.
Thank you. Valentin Garcia just sent us $20 on Super Chat.
Oh,
thanks, bro.
You.
He says, Keith and Ashley, we got to put his question on priority right here real quick. There you go. The 3 main reasons to divorce are lack of commitment, infidelity, and conflict and arguing. I'm 22, but I look to marry in the future, and I want to know your thoughts and advice on these variables.
Keith, you go on that one.
Cool. So the 3 main reasons to divorce are lack of commitment. I'll start with that one. Shh, Gino, he's a good boy. Can you see me clear? Why is it blurry? All right, number 1, commitment. I grew up in a pretty broken home, and I've seen other people around me who lose commitment, and I watch what happens in their lives when their lives play out, and it's like a scary, it's where I would never want to end up, and I consider myself a committed person anyways. Like when I say something, I do it. Even if it takes me a while, I do that shit. That's part of my core identity is commitment. And then also, as far as being committed to her, I feel like I can't help it. So I feel very fortunate and lucky because I don't know why I feel the way that I feel. I literally can't help it. It's not a choice. From the moment that I met her and kissed her, I'm so committed to her. I can't help it. So I don't know how to talk about that. You get what I'm saying? So if you find somebody that you feel that way about, then I guess it's not that hard.
I also think, though, that it comes down to like nowadays, it's okay to find somebody who's more of, I'm not saying that, find somebody that has some, how do I explain it? That is okay with settling down and it's mutual, you know, like you both want to settle down. You both want to grow a home. You both have the same values. I'm just old school. So I think that that's what kind of grabbed Keith because I'm so old school, you know?
Absolutely.
I grew up like a little bit just old school, you know? And I think that was like something that Keith was just like, oh, about me. Maybe.
Absolutely. Like her values and her sense of family structure, her morals and all the way across the board are all 10s. And so I wasn't even ready to get married. I couldn't even imagine myself. I never felt mature enough at that point in my life. And then when I met her, it's like, here's this opportunity in your life. And sometimes God will put something, God knows when you're ready, right? And so I felt like I had to grow into that opportunity quickly. It was the best decision ever. And I knew that if I didn't step up and step into that quickly, then I don't even want to know what my life would be like. I just don't want to know. The next question, infidelity. Let me look that up. I'm really sure I know what that means, but I just want to get the...
Well, yeah. And you can't sit there and get distracted by the devil in the red dress, you know, and that goes both ways for men and women.
The action or state of being unfaithful to a spouse or other partner, infidelity. You want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Well, and then also too, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about this, Keith, on your channel in front of everybody about your like religious views or whatever, but it's kind of a sin to do anything like that. And you shouldn't want to anyways. I mean, you get married. We got married under God. So to me, it's not even an option, but I don't know. Everybody's different, maybe, you know, but to us, that's why it's not even an option. So that to me, and I know Keith kind of grew up with similar views.
Yeah, it's all back to the same first thing. I've watched what happens when people that are married and then that happens or they're unfaithful to each other and the road that leads down never turns out good. It's a total nightmare. And I can't wrap my head around, I'm not judging anybody because I believe people can make mistakes and they can fix it. Like I would never say who, but I have a friend who went through something in his relationship.
Oh, he wants to just lay down. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
And it was actually, they worked it out and they're stronger together than ever. But to me, I'm like terrified. Like I said, I grew up in a broken home and the feeling of the safety of my home and the safety of being with her. I know safety is a funny word, but I feel safe and secure in our own little bubble. And I also think the world out there is like I don't know. I just look at it as wolves and did you say devils in red dresses?
Yeah.
The wolves in sheep's clothing.
And the devil in the red dress. You know, just to say this on the record here, it's so repulsive for anybody. I don't know. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut.
Social media.
What?
Dude, I'll say it. I don't understand how somebody can have a family and go behind their family's back and do something and then come home and hug and kiss their family. It's like, but I don't know. Different people have different reasons.
But you're a germaphobe. You're just like a rare form, you know, too. Not saying, you know, that nobody's faithful like you, but like you are an extra germaphobe.
If I'm like even at like an event and I'm shaking people's hands and fist bumping people, I'm actually sneaking to the bathroom and washing my hands every 10 minutes and I'm not touching anything. And I'm like just a total freaking
every time we've ever used a public restaurant, he's literally lurking around the corner waiting for me to open the door just to see if I touch the door.
Yeah, I've literally
He lurks.
I'm like scolding her. If she ever touches the door with her hand, because I do this thing now, if I don't have anything, you can use your sleeve or you can use like your pinky finger and then you got to quarantine that pinky finger.
No, the other time,
I
forgot what public restroom we were at, but this just happened recently. He was literally lurking. His head pops out from the corner and he's like, "Did you touch the door?" And I literally had my freaking sleeve up like this. And I go, "No."
So the next thing is in conflict and arguing.
Oh, we argue. Oh yeah, we argue.
Yeah, let's get a little tighter in this chat. Let's talk about arguing. I like this.
Kalfas and I argue a lot.
I'm fascinated by this topic. I don't know if it's say 90% of the time we get along perfect like this, but there's that 10%. There's this depolarization of these unconscious weird codependencies and triggers that we have that when they pop up and then it's a state that can't even be solved in that moment until we both evolve past it.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on, and I won't stop. And he'll just be sitting there like silent. And then the silence gets under my skin because, you know, I'm like that old stubborn. I'm so stubborn, you know?
I'm stubborn.
And you're stubborn. But then I think after I usually have to take like a breather and then we come back and then we usually will just be like, we just know that the fighting's got to stop sometime in the day. So usually we'll make up within like 20 minutes. Sometimes it goes an hour.
We used to fight a lot the first few years. It was crazy.
Well, because I was nuts over him. I still am, but I still am, girls. Just to let you know, I'm very territorial over my man.
She is highly territorial. We'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Hall, Love and Respect by Emerson Agarics. Google this. I learned how to love because of this course through my church. It will change your life and your marriage. I'll look that up, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it a book, Bill? Is that a book?
I don't know, but we're going to Google it.
Yeah, we will.
True commitment means that you cannot be unfaithful. If you are not fully committed, you allow the silver of infidelity. Conflict and arguing is healthy when done correctly. No yelling. I like that.
Keith is the calm one. I'm the rowdy one. I'm rowdy.
She's gotten me to the point a couple times where I just lost my shit.
Not a lot. Oh.
And just
start
yelling. A couple times. What, in 10 years? This is normal.
No, but Keith.
But then as soon as
he doesn't lose his shit, though. Don't get it twisted. You don't lose your shit. You losing your shit is like going up like one octave. Normally, Keith is very calm.
I've read a lot of books on personal development and neuroscience and emotional intelligence. And so I think about it. If something hijacks me emotionally and then, I'm hijacked, what I do is I just get real calm because I realize I'm sitting in the passenger seat looking out the window while it's driving. So it's like a demon that hijacks you. And the only thing you do is not make any rash decisions while you're under that emotional hijacking. And I wonder
if it's because you're literally the most soberest person. He's literally the most sober person I know. You don't even drink alcohol. You've never even, nothing.
But I don't drink alcohol and I don't smoke weed. I think partly because
I don't either. I
am egotistical and I'm afraid of it ripping off my ego and exposing the truth of how selfish and unconscious I am.
I know, but normally people will kick back and drink a beer. Kalfases don't do that, but your mind is very clear because of that, you don't have any I don't know.
Hey, Jim Duffin, real quick. Just since you're here, I just want to publicly say I see all of your comments, bro, and you always comment very nice and encouraging things. And I've never seen your face, but I'd like to meet you in person one day and shake your hand, bro. And that goes out to a lot of you. I really appreciate you watching this channel.
Hi, Jim.
Stick around as Keith returns with more of the Untrapped podcast in just a moment. Hey, if you're looking for what is probably the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, even track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. And if you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith. And if after the trial you decide you want to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith. And once again, here's your host, Keith Kalfas.
Kids, says Fernando Marquez. He just said, kids? What were we talking about 2 nights ago in bed?
Kids could be right around the corner.
Yes.
The Kalfases corner.
I'll say it on the record. I'm speaking for myself. I'm so ambitious and I have so many things that I want to achieve in my life. Because I grew up so poor, I have to see them come to fruition. Because if I don't get them, and it's not just materialistic things, I will be an angry, upset person. But I've achieved a lot of things already. And the pain of not having children is starting to get to the point where it's actually going to be just less painful to just have kids because...
Well, my mom's retiring soon too.
Yeah. So I literally woke up 2 mornings ago and she kissed me and I imagined us having a family and having kids. And when we're sitting at the dinner table, I'm starting to get sad thinking about cutting up the food.
No, we need another king size bed now if we have a kid. So we can move. Now we can fit all the animals in the bed. And then next, the fish are going to want to come sleep with us too. Because I told Keith, I said, if we don't have any kids anytime soon, I'm just going to keep getting more animals. So, because every time I start to feel like a void of not having a kid, boop, another animal pops into our life. Literally, we got Gino last year, or going on 1.5 years now. Mm-hmm. And then literally 3 weeks ago, these 6 fish needed a home. And my friend calls me up. She's like, listen, this guy's donating a bunch of stuff to Vets Returning Home. He has a fish tank and we don't know what to do with it. Can you take them? And I'm like, sure. So I took them, made a cash donation to Vets Returning Home for the fish tank. But now we have 6 fish.
Very pretty fish.
They're beautiful. They are beautiful. But that's what I'm saying. I fill the void with animals. But I love all of our animals. But
PJ says, marriage is designed by the Lord need to be equally yoked, both going in the same direction. Mm-hmm. Jesus keeps both accountable. And a 3-corded rope is not easily broken. Powerful. Couples that pray together, stay together. I've been reading the Bible every night until we fall asleep. Just aloud, I got a little night light by the bedstand. It's really interesting when you read the Bible and you read what Jesus said specifically. When you read what he spoke or what they documented what he said, it's this narrative that's playing that rings. It resonates. It has the truth. It resonates truth. And I believe in everything that you're saying right there. What are your thoughts?
I believe that when you believe, that's when you see how to believe.
Here's one. I've seen lust, pornography, poverty, and adultery destroy marriages.
Mm-hmm. Me too. And sometimes God will put people in your life just so you see how not to be, or you learn what not to do from what you've seen growing up or whatever. And then sometimes that will make you the person that you are.
I'm how can I say it? I don't know what the word is. What is it when people are into astrology and they think everything means everything and they're looking for meanings?
Yeah.
Not spooky. What's the word?
Spiritual.
It's not spiritual.
Yeah, it is.
People I can't think of the word.
Because people say that the people say that when you believe in God, how can you believe in the spiritual world as well? But I believe in both. You know what I mean? I just do. Like, I believe in astrology. Keith is an Aries, and every single definition of an Aries is Keith Kalfas. And I'm a Gemini, and every single definition of a Gemini is Ashley Kalfas. I am like this most Gemini that you've ever met in your life.
Superstitious. Thanks, 3P. All right. So that was the word I was looking for. I don't know how comfortable I feel talking about this specifically, but I just believe that your mind and you're like a sponge walking through this etheric field. So you have to be very careful what energy, like we don't even watch horror movies when we're doing date night and watching like Netflix. Mm-hmm. So I think that anything that you consume, be very careful of that and what you watch and what type of content you watch and things like that. Because if you're consuming a bunch of negative trash content, then think about you being a small business owner and you're meeting with customers and clients and working on their properties. What if a customer or criteria of your customers are very hypersensitive and have emotional IQ and they feel energy? And if you're consuming negative content and you're, like a negative lifestyle, then what if they can feel those subtle vibrations and pick up on that? And then you're losing sales and you don't even know why. So I think about things like that. If you resonate being a good person and a good hearted person and you live and breathe it and walk the talk that you speak and it's real, I believe that like a tuning fork, even your customers and clients, they'll feel that and they'll want to continue doing business with you. And then they'll want to refer you to other people. And at any time, if you're ever examined under a magnifying glass, like you're just stopped and you're looked at, you always pass with flying colors. We've got our finger on the pulse and we pay attention to a lot of stuff that we don't talk about. Mm-hmm. And my grand conclusion of even what you're saying right here, without saying any key words, how are you prepared for it? What are you going to do about it? And what are you really going to do about it? I've spent a large portion of my life paying attention to a lot of stuff. And I was so freaked out. Like, I was like the guy, I was like, dude, it's going down. Like,
aliens are coming and taking over.
Bro, like it ruined my life. And I know people that are like that. So, because you can prepare for that stuff all the way to the point where you're spending literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I know a guy, I would never say his name. He's like, he's super, super, super prepared. And every time I talk to him, he's getting more prepared. And every time I talk to him, it's going down, bro. It's going down. No. It's really going down. And this dude is so prepared. I've been to his house. I've never seen someone so prepared. Like, I don't even know if I would want to be over there if it went down.
It just seems like the more time goes, things get a little scarier and scarier as time goes on.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But it's at the point of what are you going to
do?
Live your life in the now and do everything you can to be successful. Mm-hmm. Because if it doesn't happen,
don't get sucked into that rabbit hole. Do not get sucked into the rabbit hole. It's okay to inform yourself, but
I know what you're saying, bro. And here's another thing. I've learned this through social media marketing. If you're really, really crafty at making a really good thumbnail and a headline of a video, you can get people to click on it. But then I learned if you don't promise and follow through in the content with what you promised was going to be in the thumbnail, people's, they just call it clickbait, right? So there's a lot of people who are getting information from other people that say, I have high level resources that are telling me these things. Then they believe it so much that they're amped up and now they're saying it and it's echoing all over the internet. And I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not even qualified, but how do you know what's the truth? Because, bro, they're literally, well, first of all, I believe in aliens for sure.
100%.
1,000%.
I mean, Keith's an alien. So, Keith, just tell him the truth. No.
What?
When I first started dating him, I was convinced he was an alien. I'm like, I just said the F-bomb. I was like, he is an alien? And I'm sure.
Why did you tell me this?
What? Oh, well, no, because when we and him first were friends, like when we were teenagers, our 7-hour conversation was about aliens.
Yeah, we sat on the phone one night when we were like 15, 18 years ago till like 4 a.m. talking about aliens. Mm-hmm. Later, Chris Harper, much appreciated.
Bye, Chris.
The 5D awakening. That's dope.
Yeah, you know what I say? Get right with yourself. Get right with your home. Get right with God. That's all you can do.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Watch your sex. That's it. Aries and others. Wait, what?
Aries and others
often feel like strangers to their avatars. Maybe we all are aliens. No, we are all aliens. We're
we are definitely aliens.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're aliens, but
yes, we are.
But we don't know if we're aliens. I mean, it would be pretty cool to find out if we were. I just feel like humans have so many powers that no, literally, not powers, not like abracadabra, poof. But we have so many powers, with our mind, how we can manifest things, how we can attract things into our life, what we can do with our minds, how we can innovate and build. I just think that we are something special that's on this earth. I mean, you got to think there was dinosaurs that roamed the earth before humans. I mean, were they innovating and doing all the things that we're doing? No.
No, we're royalty.
We are very intriguing creatures.
Aliens don't need gas or oil, free energy from subatomic particles from the atmosphere.
Well, neither do we, man.
What? The MGIA event in Novi? No, I won't be attending it. I've been working on promoting my event, so will you be there? Thank you, sir. You liked my last video about action cures fear? Appreciate that. We are live on Facebook. 3 and 2 Facebook groups. We're live on LinkedIn, 2 YouTube channels, Twitch and Twitter at once. That's crazy, bro. It's kind of peaceful in here.
Yeah, a lot of others. You're missing a bunch of stuff. I'll go back up.
Go back up?
Go back up.
Just joined a BNI group for networking, my landscaping business. Have you heard of these groups? And what are your thoughts about them, if so? In the first 2 years of my landscaping business, I joined all these groups.
Summit.
Business networking groups. And I would show up, on Wednesday and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. and there'd be a group of people. And I got very little to no success out of them, me personally, because I was filled with anxiety. I don't have time to be here. I got to get to a job site. So I would run around passing on my business card, just trying to sell as many people as possible. And I didn't jive with anybody because you're supposed to give and spend time with everybody and relax and talk and learn about them and give true value and serve the group. And I'm like, I don't got time for it. I got to get out of here. So I was gone and didn't have time to sit around and talk with people and network. And I felt like I was surrounded by lollygaggers when I was in pure survival mode. And maybe these people were already established. Maybe they were people that worked for companies and they were just sent there on the company's behalf. I don't know what was going on, but I was part of 3 different groups. I was bouncing around in different groups and maybe 4 groups. Didn't work for me. But I did make a couple contacts of people I still know today.
Well, you ended up speaking at the event too, right? Didn't you speak?
Oh, yeah. So it got me in. I spoke at the annual convention for my city. They chose me to speak about marketing in front of there's 400 people for the business owners for our city. Mm-hmm. That was sweet. That's on the internet. We videotaped it. This bomb king.
What does this say?
Wife-a-Tron looking bomb king.
Bomb king? What's that mean?
Bomb king.
I'm a little rough today. I was in the bubble tent. I just had my nephews over, my sister, and my brother-in-law. We all just had dinner together. It was awesome night. And we went to the bubble tent. He's like, come on. And I'm like, all right. So cool.
Come on, let's go.
He's like, yeah. So we go in the studio. Here we are. And here I am.
What's up, Michael Benitez? You inspired me to start my business in 2018. Many blessings to you. And I'm happy for you and your success. And I mean that, sir. Jacob Davis, BNI is a waste of money. You sound like you know. Elite. Patrick. What's up, Patrick? How do you deal with firewood? I don't. You dump it off at the dump. Do I do snow removal? Not anymore. She knows why. When you're gone for days and days and days on end, by the time you finally get sleep and recuperate, you're gone for days on end. You can't do anything in your life. You're just in handcuffs to snow removal. You can make a lot of money, but I had other things I wanted to do. So after 15 years, I quit doing snow.
Oh, the first 7 years you were getting called on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Going and plowing snow on Christmas.
Yeah. Or holidays or whatever. We were so used to it, him leaving.
Yeah. Do I do tree removal? We were messing with trees, but I'm cutting that service out. We do ornamental tree trimming now only. in the field of tree work and leave the tree work to, I have friends that do huge ass trees. So they just give me a cut of it. And really, if you want to know why, it's because the work comp classifications for tree work, for me to do 1 tree or 2 trees a month is not even worth it. You got to do full-time tree work and be covered by work comp, or don't do it at all because insurance bullshit. And if you're not doing tree work all the time and you try to have employees do tree work, it's just not fair to them. It's a different breed of work, bro. We've done a lot of tree work. Hypothetically, what would you be doing right now if you were starting your second year? I've been doing on door hangers the last few weeks. Any tips for your second year, semi-amateur?
Yeah, start building out your Google presence, getting your 5-star reviews, building it up. So when people search landscaping or whatever, you pop up.
She just nailed it. And not only Google, go through your Rolodex of every single customer you've ever done business with or had a contact with or who has asked you for a quote. Even when customers ask for quotes or even call, I'm always getting the name, address, phone number, email, and categorizing. We have a list, and then we scrub the list down by who's qualified. So we have like a list of 5,000 people we've done work for. Mm-hmm. And I've scrubbed that all the way down to a list of 750 qualified customers that I've had a great experience with. Go back to old customers you've already worked with and try to do more work for them, upsell them on packages. So if you cut their grass, now you want to do their landscape installs or brick paper patio, you want to do their mulch, you want to trim their trees and bushes, you want to put decorative stone in, you want to clean their gutters or their window, like do more for the same people because they've already done business with you. And then build a referral engine. Listen to the book called Duct Tape Marketing by John Jantz. Build a referral engine and get into their neighbors and their neighborhoods. Do local market domination. So go to neighborhoods that you've done work in or that you want to work in. Get bandit signs, stick it in the turnarounds and the street corners at the subdivision entrances, and then get permission from your customers and stick it on the lawns. Then flyer or door hanger those neighborhoods. Then get Facebook ads and plaster the same neighborhood. Get on the phone, start cold calling, warm calling, text message marketing, doing email blasts on MailChimp.com, and literally just blast that same radius of 1,000, 2,000 customers over and over and over and over and over. So you become omnipresent and position yourself as the obvious choice. So sometimes just picking up the phone is the fastest thing ever, and work creates work. So if you're in your second year in your business, if you could just get out there and be very present in a neighborhood, you got your magnets in your truck, your door hangers, passing out business cards, everything. What I mean is the more they see you, but you got to be accessible online too, because if somebody tries to remember your name because they've seen you and they're like, oh, I need a landscaping company, and then they type in something online, she knows what she's talking about. You're going to want to pop up online because most of people's eyeballs are on Google. Most of people's eyeballs are on Facebook. So I know that if I need something done, I'll like just type in, like, let's say we need our house bridge for spiders because we get creepy spiders. So our spider company actually canceled or closed. So now we have to find a new one. So what am I going to type in on Google? I'm going to go right to Google when we're going to be hiring our new company. And I'm going to type in spider control, and then whoever pops up first and who has the best reviews, I'm going to be clicking on. It just is what it is. Nobody wants to click on a business that doesn't have a picture for Google and doesn't have a website or like anything to go to, So I'm just talking from like customer standpoint looking in, because it's funny. I don't even do any of the marketing for his landscaping business. I'm just saying as from a customer standpoint, that's how I hire companies. So there's one thing here. Valentia Garcia, give me 1 second. So I talked about local market domination strategy, but then she said online presence. So measure all your lead sources. If you plug in, like we have Responsibid on the front end of our website, and it measures the lead sources. It's tracking all the traffic, and it builds out a pie chart of who's coming from where. Referral, Yahoo, Yelp, Google, Bing, Facebook, and 83% of all of our new leads are coming in specifically from Google, which means Google My Business. So build out your Google My Business, put your hours of operation, and you want to have a local extension to a physical place. Like, so you want to have maybe your house. If you live your house, we have an office because it's a physical location. Make sure it has a location extension, basically. And then you want to put pictures in there. You want to have your customers put pictures in there. You want to go back to every single customer you've ever worked for, get the link, and literally call their asses up and get them to leave well-worded, positive 5-star reviews, and then respond with a well-worded, very professional response, and build all this social proof. So you generate reciprocity and proof proof results in advance, and then have pictures of the work. Like, this sounds very simple, like, of course, to people that are doing it.
But it's hard to people that have technical blocks. It is.
It is.
My advice, if you do have techie blocks, is just one day, make a cup of coffee. If you don't drink coffee, get yourself a Red Bull or a Mountain Dew. Sit down at your computer and just go into your Google My Business, set up your Google My Business, even if you don't, and just bang it out, get it done, upload those pictures, do what you got to do to make it look spiffy, you know? And I got to say this about the reviews. If you're in your second year in business, when I started my business, and within my second year, that's when I really started like grasping that I needed to kind of gather reviews. I literally just asked my friends, hey, can you guys go leave me a review? Like, they bought my products, don't get me wrong, but like literally asked my friends to leave me an honest review, and they did. Like, it was like that easy, you know?
So positive reviews and search engine optimization, which SEO, it puts you up the search engine ranking page. It's called, and Google has these thing called bots. They're crawlers, and then they're crawling the internet every day, and they're looking for relevant, high quality information that is closely matches human behavior. Right. So if you have a website and then you start a blog, and the blog where it's like, I hire a blog article writer, 5 reasons what you should consider before hiring a landscaper in Shelby Township, Michigan. Right. And then you have a 1,200 word, high quality, like professionally written blog article that builds backlinks to your Google My Business, to your website, to your Facebook, and to other blog articles that you've written before. But when you do that, and there's a whole bunch of other things you can do, I could talk about SEO for 5 hours. I'm actually trying to like calm myself down because I'm so fired up about this. But you can learn about this in SEO Black Book by R.L. Adams, and then SEO for Bloggers by R.L. Adams. And what you're doing is you're positioning yourself to eventually get as soon as possible into what's called a Google 3-pack in your city. We're in the Google 3-pack. At the end of the season, I had to shut off Jill's office, which is our virtual receptionist who answered the phones, because we had 850 missed phone calls. You're always supposed to pick up your phone, right? We couldn't even pick up the phone. We had 875 missed phone calls by December 1st. And I was so overwhelmed, I just didn't pick up the phone anymore. And so if you're going into your second year of business and talking about all this, I remembered it was like hustling for work and taking on any job we could. And you can get to the point where you're just cherry picking the jobs you want. And then you can expand if you want. But if you go to expand, you're going to cut your personal income is going to get cut down by 75%. You're going to make a quarter of what you were making as soon as you start replacing yourself with other people. I'm in a position of myself in my business where I have to do that now because it's too costly not to. You're going to be just fine. I think, realizing that you are in an abundant universe and you could just have your pick, that's insane. Baldani's Landscaping. Thanks for sending us $10.
Oh, thank you.
First Keith video I watched genuinely scared me. I thought I was watching your average Joe talk about landscaping when you started yelling at me. Get your effing ass out there. You got this. Thank you. Oh, I remember that video. Thank you, bro. And best of success to you and your business and all of your endeavors.
More of the Untrapped podcast right after this. Have you been thinking that it's time to really market your business in a more effective manner? Keith has spent years testing tens of thousands of dollars on marketing and advertising, and he is just amazed that the 7 most powerful marketing strategies that he's ever found are surprisingly low cost, and some are even free. He distilled down everything that he's learned into a 7-step guide and wants to give it to you for free. If you'd like to download the free guide, it's called 7 Steps to Marketing Your Business, then simply go to keithkalfas.com/7steps. That's keithkalfas.com/7steps. And of course, the link will be in the show description. This is Untrapped with Keith Kalfas.
Keith, you do got some wild videos out there.
Are there any better payroll services than QuickBooks? I don't know, because the only ones we've used are QuickBooks and ADP. I was looking at Gusto Payroll. They seem great. The only reason I'm staying with ADP is because I've been with ADP for years, and now we're on ADP for both of my businesses. I get a payroll, and we pay payroll out. We use ADP. Check out Gusto and ADP. Nice. Paul Rhodes. What's up, Rob? Joey, for Wife-a-Tron, what made you stay with Keith in the beginning? Did you think his business would ever take off?
Well, I stayed with him because that's what husband and wives do. I mean, through sickness and in health, till death do us part. I stayed with him through the rocky times. He stayed with me through the rocky times. I think that that's what made me stay. And I love him so much. So he's my family. And I was in it with him. Don't get me wrong. We argued a lot. I think in the beginning, we argued a lot about, I didn't understand, even though I come from an entrepreneurial family, I still didn't understand the concept when our rent was due and he was going to go take our rent money and go spend it on equipment. I would freak out, and have a meltdown, but then he would do it and then he would convert that money into more money. So then I think as time went on, I started to trust him more because back then it was hard. We were both working our butts off to make our $450 rent payment. So I love you.
$450.
$450.
Then it went up to $475, then $500 a month.
And we were like, oh, our rent's going up. How are we ever going to afford this? Now it's not even our insurance. For our cars. Bro. It doesn't even cover our insurance.
We're about paying $2,000 a month just in insurance.
Yeah.
I hate insurance. All right. So, yeah. So for the record, see that question there. I remember when I was flat broke and I had no driver's license and I had to fight to get it back. And I had to have some special high risk insurance because I got in a car accident. And so my insurance was $850 or $950 a month for PLPD and $1,250 a month just to have basic full coverage or insurance. So she actually insured my truck under her name. Did you own my truck?
Probably. I think I did own
the Blue Goose. I think she owned the Blue Goose and insured it, and I drove it. And
that truck started.
I was giving her money for insurance payments, and then that next truck, the Dakota. Most of the money was out of our wedding money because the Blue Goose blew up and we had just got married. And literally we got married and I was driving a rusty pickup truck, 1991, 250,000 miles. And it broke down a couple days after our wedding. And I had to take a chunk of our wedding money and go buy a $1,300.
But our wedding money wasn't even our wedding money because we didn't make any money on our wedding. We didn't make any, we lost money on our wedding. So whatever money we had was just paying ourselves back for the debt that we went in for our wedding.
Yeah.
Because we had to have no, you know what? Okay. I'm going to say this right now. I love my grandpa to pieces, but he wouldn't let us we were trying to get married on the beach. We were not trying to have a big old shebang like we did. And I don't regret anything, but my one friends were getting married. And I'm not saying I'm responsible for their decision, how they're getting married. But a long time ago, when she first got engaged, she's like, we were talking and I'm like, man, when we got married, I just wish we would have gotten married on a beach. And I think I triggered something in her. And now they're literally getting married in Punta Cana, on the beach. And I'm like, good for you. Good for you. And don't get me wrong. The old traditional weddings, I'm all for because we had one, but sometimes the money, it's just not worth it. And if you want to get married in that special moment, sometimes it's not about the big fancy schmancy.
So I'm obsessed with this part of the past. I want to make 50 videos about it because I believe there's guys right now that are trapped in a 1-bedroom apartment or a little tiny trailer. They're pulling their hair out and their self-esteem is in the toilet and they're trying to get their business off the ground. They don't have the confidence. They don't know where the money's at. They can't see it. They know it's there. They see other people doing it and they're depressed, anxious, maybe even suicidal.
Oh, God. I know that feeling though. I remember even waitressing and you owning the business and you working 100 million hours a week. And I was still at that restaurant and it was just a grind all the time. It was just so hard. And then we would walk into our little 1-bedroom apartment and not be able to go to Walmart to go, and then we were I remember sometimes feeling oh God, I wish I could just get a bridge card, so I could just get some food in the fridge. It's I would work a whole entire shift and then have to go pay to eat, And Yeah, those times were really hard.
So I had 3 employees. One would work with me until 5 p.m. because he didn't want to work till 9, 10 o'clock at night. I worked till dark every day. As long as I could see, I was working 7 days a week. So one guy would go at 5, and I had a different guy come at 5 p.m. after he got off a day job or whatever he's doing. And then he would work for me from 5 p.m. until 9 or till dark. So, and every day, because I work constantly. And then I had another guy who would work on the weekends in between a different job. He'd be willing to work Saturday and Sunday until like 4, 5 or 6 p.m. And then when he would leave, it was very lonely to me because I would, on Saturdays and Sundays, she would call me up and be like, hey, we got a family event or we got this thing going on. I'm like, well, I'm not coming home because I'm working. I'm in the middle of this job. She's like, it's Sunday. It's 7 p.m. She'd call me back at 8 p.m. crying. What are you doing? It's Sunday night, 8 p.m. What the hell are you doing? I said, I'm working. Why? Because I'm in the middle of this job. I remember my customers coming out, getting upset because I'm wheelbarrowing racks in the dark on their property at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. They're like, will you please go home? And you had to pry my hands off that shovel and off that wheelbarrow because that was, as long as my hands were on the steering wheel of that truck in that broken windshield and I heard the hum of that truck, I knew everything was going to be okay.
Well, and then he wouldn't come home. So then, 8 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, okay, are you coming home or what? No. Okay, where are you at? I'm coming to the job site. I'm coming and beast moding it and coming and helping you pull the rest of the weeds so we can go home.
She would actually come to the job sites and help me. The next thing was, and thank you for that. The next thing that I'm really obsessed with. Oh, yeah, here's the next thing. I used to talk about this in the old videos. This is so relevant today. I want to make another video about this.
No.
Here's the one thing nobody understands when you're getting your own small business off the ground and you're broke. You're behind the wheel of this truck. It's got 250,000 miles. It just broke down last week. You barely had enough money to fix it. You're trying your hardest, and you know that any moment the motor could blow up in this truck, the transmission could blow up, the ball joints, the U-joints, the tie rod ends, a tire could fly off, the water pump, the heater, the starter solenoid, anything could go on this truck at any moment. And that's why you're working 100 hours a week. 40 hours a week might cover the bills. Another 20 hours of that is fucking up and making a whole bunch of mistakes. She's like bouncing now because I'm going manic. Listen, another 20 hours a week is just making a whole bunch of mistakes and learning and trying to figure out what the hell you're doing and calling because you don't know what you're doing. And then another 20 hours a week is making more money just to pay for all the breakdowns. If you don't work at least 90 hours a week. Maybe some people you're just so much smarter and you're like, because I see people in the YouTube comments. I'm like, they're like, what are you talking about, Kalfas? I started my business the first year we did 100 grand. Then we're doing 400 grand. We only been in business 2 years. I didn't have any of these problems you're talking about, Kalfas. It was easy. This Kalfas guy's a weirdo talking about struggles and like, I don't even experience those. So like, to me, if you don't work 100 hours a week, you're dead. She's like, when are you coming home? It's Sunday night. I would say, do you understand that if this truck breaks down and I don't have the money to fix it, we are fucked. And it's going to be my fault. So I already knew it was my fault anyways, and my ass was on the line. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't work 100 hours a week and the shit all falls apart, you ain't got no money, the ship's sinking, everybody's dead. If you work 100 hours a week, you're just not going to be there and everybody's going to hate you and you're going to be the biggest piece of shit walking. But guess what? That ship ain't going to sink until you learn all the lessons and build the momentum and learn how to price and customers and all this stuff and actually get equipment that, God, like my average ticket job then was like $120. I remember my first like $20,000 job, I only made $1,400 on, and it took a month. I was actually going out and doing other side jobs to make money so we didn't get evicted because I was an idiot. And I did it was a $20,000 job and I did it for $6,000.
Because you were in this we were in this scarcity mindset.
Totally.
Where it's like, we literally didn't think people were going to pay what people would pay. So even when I started my apron business, can you believe I was selling my aprons for $15 a piece? Imagine how much money I would have made if I just would have started selling them for what I sell them now. Now you can't even get them for under $45.
I think that though the quantum physics, the law of attraction, the ether and the environment, when you believe something is real and you believe you're worth it, it shows up in your reality. But if you would have charged that much for your aprons then, if you didn't believe it, would it still have translated?
Oh, I literally thought when I put the price to $20 that was like the sweet spot. I was going to make money. The customer was going to be happy, and it was the best. And don't get me wrong, I slung them like crazy at $20. But you know what? Not worth my time, not worth my energy, not worth anything, not worth my talent. I was the freaking designer and patenter. I shouldn't have been behind that sewing machine sewing all those aprons for freaking $3 profit
per apron.
What was I thinking? Oh my gosh. So, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we just couldn't get our mindset. But I think that once we started to open our mind up a little bit, that what we were doing was worth, and the price that we put down, it was worth that price, and the customer was going to be happy with it, and they would actually say yes. I think that when we started getting the yeses to our price increases, that's what helped us get a little bit more amped up too about it, and helped us get to where we're at now too.
Yeah. So hear what you said. Results. Tony Robbins talks about this. Like, when you're motivated, you take action, you get results. And it keeps going up. It's an upward spiral. And the most important thing for your growth and development is seeing the positive results. When you're doing something and you're working your ass off and you're not seeing the results, it's really, really depressing and discouraging because you don't see it showing up. And I'm so obsessed with this. I'm so obsessed. I could just close my eyes and go back to those 5 years of hell.
Well, you just got to take risks too. You have to take those risks. You just do.
Calculated risks.
You have to take calculated risks. Yeah, you have to take the risk with the possibility of maybe you might fail, but with the belief that it's going to succeed. Because if you believe it, I mean, a lot of the times it comes to fruition, I mean, look at anything. Look at the business that you started. It came from an idea. You started the business. Now you're here. You have the business. That came from an idea, a thought, a drive. It came from somewhere.
Tyler Deucin, how much you charge per linear foot of stonework? I don't know. I don't do stonework. We do decorative stone, but I can't say for that. I don't even know. I have a math formula for doing decorative stone, but not stonework because we don't do it.
All of the time. What was that one right there?
AT's Lawn Care had a 2000 Dodge Dakota that broke down all the time on me. Same here. You had to rent U-Haul trucks just to keep working, only to pay the U-Haul bill and not make any money. I was only working just to keep the customer happy, and that's real shit.
Just to keep the customer.
So there was a breakthrough moment for me. It was when I finally I had 5 or 6 grand in the bank. To me, it was like enough for what our life was at to have a little bit of a safety net. And then that old F-150 that I had broke down, and it was Saturday night, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. It was dark. We were on our way back. It broke down on the side of the road again. And this time I had money in the bank, and I made a phone call, and I had another truck. Now I had 2 trucks. The tow truck driver comes, picks up the F-150, and I took a picture of it smiling as it went away. This time I was smiling. I said, that's why I have money in the bank now, because now they're just going to take it and fix it. I got another truck, and I'm going to be on the job site tomorrow. And I became obsessed with that feeling of being prepared because, like the boy who cried wolf. If you're a grown-ass man, Jordan Peterson talks about Peter Pan syndrome. Like, if you're a teenager and you don't have your shit together, well, it's okay because you have infinite potentiality and you can do anything. And people are like, well, he's got the world by the balls.
He's got time.
He'll figure. But then now, like, you're in your early 20s, and if you still don't have your shit together, and like by your mid 20s, people will kind of let you off. Like, hey, he's in his early 20s. Like
30s, people are like, when are you gonna get your shit together?
Yeah, by the time you are now a 30-year-old grown ass man, if you're still having these same problems, you don't have your shit together, nobody wants to hear it anymore. They're really just going to say, what the hell have you been doing for the past 10 years of your life? Get your shit together, because we're not going to help you anymore. We're not going to so by the time I hit like 27, 28, and I realized that nobody gives a shit if you die behind a dumpster, except for your friends, close friends and family.
No, they do care if you die behind a dumpster, but nobody gives a shit about your problems.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody.
Then I started to realize, oh my God, nobody cares if you have a good life and make good money and drive a nice car. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Unless it's like for them, why should they? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. If something good happens, people are happy for you, but nobody cares. Really.
So I became obsessed with that money and became a fanatical saver, fanatical about living below our means and working and diving into.
We still live below our means.
We do live below our means.
We live below our means. If you guys seen our house, I mean, don't get me wrong, our house is beautiful. We never went and went above and beyond. We're just regs, you know? We're living regular, comfortable. A nice house, driveway, garage, cats, dogs, family. We're just comfortable. We don't want to be fancy schmancy people. We just don't. But hey, some people, that makes them feel good. Because we were talking about that too. When we got our condo, we were like, sorry, it's like past my bedtime. What time is it? 9:30. Past my bedtime. So when we got our condo, we took a risk because we couldn't afford it. But just getting out of that 1-bedroom apartment and then getting into the condo, just the atmosphere of it, both of us, we both did very, very well in our businesses after we made that move. Because it opened up our minds, opened up our consciousness, and we were able to breathe instead of running our businesses out of a 1-bedroom apartment. Now we had space.
Space to breathe.
I was literally cutting aprons in our living room and sewing them. Yeah, it was crazy.
You know the most important thing? How much to clean gutters on a 1-story, 2-starter? We have a $199 minimum to clean any gutters. So there you go. 1-story house. If you're already on the customer's property doing a fall cleanup, I don't know, you could do it for $150 or $100 even if it's just a small, tiny house, whatever. But it's a $199 minimum and then $250 up to $400 for a monster house. But we don't even clean those because if the house doesn't have a walkable roof, we don't even want to mess with it. And this year I'm thinking of discontinuing gutter cleaning altogether. It's too many services. But for you, I hope that helps because there's people who crush it and doing just gutter cleaning only. That's their whole business. I'll spare you the details. Business is a simple yet demanding monster. The formula that I found that has worked with me was to take educated risk with a proper mindset. You will be amazed at what a human is capable of. Totally true. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Bryce. How do we keep our work, marriage, life in balance?
Date night.
Date night.
It will literally change everything.
I could do the math right now on date night. It was July of 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5.5 years.
So, okay, look at Keith Kalfas and how he is right now and what he's doing. This is Keith all week long.
264. We've had 264 consecutive Tuesday night date nights since July of 2016, and we've only missed 3. One because I was out of town speaking at an event, and then another one because 2 times you were tied up in your business. You're like, hey, let's just do it tomorrow. But so we've actually had 260.
What was my fault? The 2 times?
That was you.
Ooh.
We've had 261.
But I've never seen Keith shut off like completely and detach like he does on date night. And it is awesome. Like,
so here's what I learned. Tuesday night is date night.
My night.
It's my perfect excuse if I ever could find one because I don't have the power within me to shut off. Because I know that
he has no power.
I'm speaking to men here. If you don't have, well, I don't know. I can't talk about it. I know that our marriage will suck and be really tough if we don't have a date night. We've already been down that path. So if that's going to happen, dude, we've had 262 date nights is the best thing ever. It's just one night a week. We sit down, we eat dinner at the dinner table every single night at 6 to 7 p.m. Like we're always at the dinner table. We have a very traditional marriage. And I love cuddling up, watching Netflix, eating popcorn, rubbing each other's feet.
I'm a homebody though. I'm like one of those people where I could just bathe in nature. But in the wintertime, I don't want to be out. I want to be at home, warm and cozy, slippers. I go out, do what I got to do, but I'm home. And we're adventurers when it comes to traveling, but like really we don't drink. So we don't ever really go out to the bars. And we're pretty low key people. We know how to have a good time though. I know how to turn up when it's time to turn up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never forgot about Garcia. I hope you're still on here, brother. Michigan, charged between 75 and 150. I see.
Aww.
What did he say?
He said, Landscapes of America. My wife used to come out with me at night. Keith, I'm blind. I can't see. You got to read.
My wife used to come out with me at night when we first got into parking lot street sweeping, just so we could be able to see each other. That's the most amazing bonding experience.
I love it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it's funny too, because Keith and I bonded like so much. We were like doing the service business together. And I was out like actually doing the work, literally getting my hands dirty and ruining my nails and getting bugs in my hair. So like, getting down dirty. But we bonded so much. And I think it made us like stronger. It made us who we are today, like our relationship and stuff. I do. I feel like it like defined us working side by side like that in the trenches together. Yeah. And it's funny too, like, and I see it in other couples too, like when the wife doesn't do what you do, but then every once in a while, like the wife or the girlfriend will sneak in and like pop up on a job site. It literally makes you guys' day. We have a friend and his fiance showed up to the job site and he had posted it. And I was like, literally they're feeling the same way that Keith and I felt when we were working together. It's just a cool feeling.
We got the juggernaut on here. Long hair juggernaut in the house. Go.
Grace. We
got Dylan Brandon in the house. How do you break free from the job aspects of working for yourself? You don't if you work for yourself. You don't own a business. You own a job. And that's all it is when you're self-employed or if you have a few employees. Because what does Kiyosaki say? A real business owner doesn't even work in the business. The business generates revenue without him. Do you reply to these chats, Keith? Hi, Scott Morrison. I just did. How are you, sir? I went to post in something on Instagram earlier, like a daily post, and this thing popped up in my feed. And it was this dude, and he was a DJ, and he was wearing like a mask. And he took that... What was that Madonna song? Ooh, if I could melt your heart. But then he remixed it and he was like messing with the fader and he was mixing it with the Phil Collins song. And then he started singing and rapping and then he went over to the keyboards. And normally I don't like that shit, but it was sick.
It was art.
It was pure art. It was amazing content. And I went through his feed and everything was high, really consistent. And I looked at like 4.2 million followers. And the name of it was Sick Music. And it was like incredible. And I'm fascinated by people who reach levels of mastery in anything that they do. And they're singularly focused. And in order to be singularly focused means that you have to suck at other things to get that good at, on that line of intelligence to bring it to such a high level. Marky B sent us $5.
Thank you.
Do you recommend someone that can design and revamp websites that understands the lawn care business? I need one. Enjoying your content. Anybody here got recommendations?
I mean, honestly, when I was starting my business, I built a website. I plugged and played. And I started to pay somebody. And I think it's great if you don't want to do the work. But sometimes it's better just to plug and play your website. Just get like a regular website on like GoDaddy or Wix or whatever. And most of the time it's free. I think Wix is free unless you have like a shopping cart added to it. Mine's not free because I have an e-commerce, but I think Wix is probably free. You could just build it.
I know a great answer to that. Use the Russell Brunson method and ethically hack. Go and research the top 10 most badass landscaping companies in America and go analyze their websites and take screenshots and copy and take the best elements of them and then go and ethically hack that and make your website very similar and figure out why it's converting like that.
Yeah, because you could literally plug and play a website and it's going to literally look professional, like you paid somebody to make it and all you did was upload your logo, put some content and pictures and information, and boom, you have a website.
Or you can go on Upwork.com and hire a virtual assistant specifically who has the criteria, who's a website designer, who has done stuff for the green industry, landscapers, construction, things like that. Go find the expert on Upwork.com. Or you can go on these local Facebook groups and ask around. But I don't know.
I think the simplest solution is to go to Wix.com or GoDaddy.com. You get your domain name if you don't already have it and just start plugging and playing because you don't have anything to lose when it's free. I think I did mine in I think it took me like 10 hours and I had products that I had to upload and like a whole shopping cart and a whole different ball game. So you could probably get one done in 5 hours, maybe.
One other aspect of that is I'm a marketer. I do copywriting. I understand design, colors, fonts. I'm not just making up words here. Like we study this obsessively and still my website is subpar. And I just paid a guy $2,000 to build one web page and connect it all and build all the copy for it. This was just a couple weeks ago. And I looked at what he did and it was way better than anything I could have done because I wasn't singularly focused.
But I also think though, if you have your logo, don't venture off any other color scheme than what your logo is. Just stick with 1 to 2 colors and that's it. Don't have different types of fonts going on. Have it all structured. A couple colors, maybe 1 color, 2 white, and then another color or black background and another color. Don't get too busy.
The highest converting elements are the most simple.
Yes. Less is more.
Less is more.
Less goes way further. Even with your font, you don't want any font that's like too like busy. You just want a clean cut, simple font on your website. And you want it to be intuitive too. Like click here to schedule an appointment. Like just have it totally right in front of your face what it is.
I like it. Call to action above the fold.
Call to action right away.
Immediately.
Boom, and tell exactly what it is right there.
Whatever Josh R says, whatever happened to your roofing buddy? He was always cool seeing and learning from him. Eric Reno is swamped. Now he has like 2 $5 million businesses and he has so much shit going on that I've been spending a lot of time with him. Very, very busy and he doesn't have any time to post.
No, and I wish we did have more time with them too because we used to hang out with them a lot more when we were just starting out.
Thanks, Anthony. $10 for the pets.
Aww.
Or take Gracie to PetSmart and get her
Yeah, we'll get them squeaky toys with the $10.
a little squeaky toy for the
We
pet.
could get them a lot of squeaky toys for $10 because PetSmart. Because our dogs like the cheap toys, believe it or not, like the little ones. They like the little tiny ones that they can just like put in their mouth because they're little. You know, we got little peanuts running around, so they like the little ones.
A little peanut.
They don't ever play with the big toys. I'll get a big toy, bring it home. They never play with it, ever. Just sits in the bed. All the little ones are scattered everywhere.
Look up Lost Lands. The music is crazy. I will. Lost Lands. I'm going to look it up, bro. Dylan Brannon. I have a question. When you guys were in the first stages of living together or in the middle, how often would you guys argue or how did you get past it? We just talked about that 20 minutes ago. It was like a whole segment.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, we only argue now for like 20 minutes and we're over it because we both know that we're not going anywhere and that there's no point and that we have to get along some way, shape, or form. And also like adult duties call. So usually I'll have to like turn the corner, even though I'm so mad at Keith and I want to punch him in his face. Not really, but you know, hypothetically, I mind punch Keith, but I'll have to ask him like an adult question after we're arguing. I'll be like, so.
Is it that funny? Jesus, it's all coming out now. I called your dad one time and I got advice from him.
What, when we got into a fight?
No, not in a fight. I wouldn't do that.
Don't do that. No. Don't call dad.
Look at her. She's like all weirded out right now. No, did I even say what I got advice about?
Say what you got the advice about.
I can't say very specifically, but he taught me something that was very relevant.
What?
He said, Keith, let me make this very simple for you. Imagine that it's like a laser beam.
Okay.
Right?
Some of dad's
because
stories.
If there's anybody who knows about the women in this family, it's him.
Oh, yeah.
It's
3
him.
daughters.
3 daughters, her and her 2 sisters.
And then my dad has 2 sisters.
And then the monster-in-law.
And then the monster.
Okay. It's him. So I did it. I called up your father. I love my father-in-law. I called him. I said, hey, I was very eloquent, diplomatic.
Well, my dad, he isn't remarried, but Yvonne is such a sweetheart and he loves her to pieces. And you know what I mean? He's had to grow and he absolutely adores her. So he's telling you how he's happy.
Well, I didn't actually tell you what he said.
What did he say?
Does anybody want to hear?
Yeah.
He was actually glad that I called him because I think it says in the Bible, and it says like you can ask the father-in-law for advice. And we have a very good, tight relationship. He basically said, imagine there's a laser beam, and when the laser beam is shooting, don't try to put your head in the sand or avoid the laser beam or he says you just got to stand right in the middle of the laser beam and stand right and go and like walk into the laser beam and stay there until it's like solved or it goes away or the laser beam is turned off or whatever, basically.
Sounds like my dad.
So yeah, that is your dad. And
totally.
That has like been the highest, best advice for me is stand in the face of truth, like stand in truth and face that thing down and stand in the laser beam.
And this is also coming from the same person that talked about the big nipple in the sky. Oh, that's for another time.
Hi, Keith. Mr. Johnny on the spot. I'm just joking, bro, but I'm being funny. How would you recommend virtual assistants when you were just starting your business from nothing? You don't need them. If you're just starting from nothing. Well, they're not all full-time. I don't want people to think that, get a misconception of it. I just hired our 23rd virtual assistant just a few days ago. So any of them are from people that just do tasks here and there, all the way to like they're full-on part-time. There's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 7 of them that are consistently.
But you're not answering the question specifically.
Yeah, you're right. Because I don't know how to answer it. How would you?
I can answer it.
Go on Upwork or Fiverr.com.
Okay. Whatever kind of blocks you have, like if you have a techie block, go on Upwork, find a person that can achieve that task for you. Even if you're just starting out in business, sometimes you need all the help that you can get. So if you can find somebody that isn't going to charge you an arm and leg that can get something done with it. One time, Keith and I were sitting in the office and we had a task sitting in front of us. Something needed to be done. And I literally was looking at it and I was pulling my hair out going, oh my God, Keith, we're literally going to be here for 3 days straight in your office. And I'm seriously like going to have a meltdown. And he's like, find a virtual assistant to take care of it. Go on Upwork. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go on Upwork. I find a virtual assistant. I can't share her name because she's ours. No.
Sunny Suggs.
Oh yeah. Okay, fine. Share away. Sunny's the best. So Sunny took 25-hour project and condensed it down to 15 minutes.
That was a 17.5-hour project.
And then she messages me back and she goes, boom, it's like magic.
Yeah, she did say that.
And I said, Sunny, you will always get love from the Kalfases.
Zoned out. Bro, your woman is so hot. How do you handle that knowing you're super mediocre compared to her?
He is not super mediocre at all. No way. No way. No.
Here's how I describe it.
I think you're hot.
So, see what she just said? There's just a very specific, this is how I look at things. There's a very specific percentage of criteria. I'm just her type.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm just her type and she's my type.
No, you are like every type of mine. Like you fit every single type. Like the second that I like seen him after not seeing him for 7 years, I looked at him and I go, oh my God, I'm going to marry this guy. I literally said that to myself, pulling up in your driveway in my Lexus, bringing you McDonald's that day. He had me bring him a salad and an iced tea. Like,
yeah, the first time we hung out, I was like,
and I hadn't seen him in 7 years.
Bring me a salad and an iced tea.
I'm like, okay, Keith.
Like, here's your salad and your iced tea. This is so good. So what's been happening the last 7 years?
You literally ate it. Did I eat? No, I didn't eat because I never ate back then. I never ate back then. But my sister had the boys over and last week they were over. Her and Ben just came over and we watched that movie Enchanto. And if you guys have kids or Encanto, I don't know what it is, but if you guys have kids, you know, all I can hear right now is the songs that are playing in that movie. And I'm not even going to start singing, but I can't even get them out of my head right now.
What songs?
The ones that Ben was singing at the table today. Oh my God.
I'm trying to pull this up right now. What's the best book you've listened to so far this year? Says Tom DeStefano. What's up, Tom?
The Bible.
Dude, it would be the Bible. But aside from the Bible, it would be, dude, the Bible's amazing. We've been reading the Bible. It's
you just got that new book and you just got the new book, that new one. The Thing. He hates when I do that.
When you're not specific?
Yeah. I'll be like, it's over there on the thing.
What thing?
The Thing.
Yeah. And then I'll be like, she'll yell from across the house. It's a half banter of an echo. She's like, make sure you put the thing on the thing. I don't even respond to her anymore. I just leave and come.
And then I'll be like, Kate!
And so, and somewhere in all of that communication that's not specific, I got to go walk all the way upstairs and say, what thing? You know what she says to me? You know the thing. Make sure you put the thing on the thing. And then in the morning, I wake up sometimes. I go, what time is it? She goes, late. Late. It's late. So.
Because I get up so early. I'm like literally out of bed.
I'm trying to be hyper.
And my life is already established. Like I'm already like conquering the world.
Look at this.
And everything's already just like done. And he's still sleeping in the bed with the dogs. So he'll be like, what time is it? And I'm like, dude, it's late. Get up. Yella, come on, let's go.
I don't want to get up. What I do is I go to bed specifically at midnight, and then I wake up naturally. Then I sleep exactly 8 hours.
Yeah, these guys don't care. They're milking it up, soaking it up right now with Daddy home.
In the winter, they're going to go into depression.
But no, Daddy's only working 3 days a week. Yeah. Daddy's going to take you for walks and for car rides. And we're going to go to the island. We're going to go for a round of block. And we're going to get them squash.
Get them squash.
Squash?
Where the squash?
Is there a squirrel?
Squash?
I think I saw that squirrel.
That's squash.
The best book so far this year was I would say it wasn't this year, it was last year. It's a new year. It was 3 books by Gino Wickman. Traction, Get a Grip, and Rocket Fuel by Gino Wickman. He talks about the organization and scaling of businesses and having team meetings and then highly efficient communication and productivity. Those book series on audible.com will kick you in the stomach and show you how stupid and irresponsible you're being in your business. And they're very hard to listen to. Gosh. All right, we're about to wrap this up in a minute here. This is winding down.
What does that say?
The Darth Vader voice. This has been fun. This was totally out of the blue.
What did somebody just say? Scroll down. Let me see. What did he say?
What?
Tom Chaldean.
It's hot in the studio here.
You know what's so funny? Some people don't even know what Chaldean is. I remember one time we were in Alabama and they were like, we got on the subject. They're like, what is Chaldean? They don't even know.
They don't?
No. In some spots, no. I mean, Michigan, we have a huge population here. This is our hood. Polo gang. How did you gain more clients when you're just getting started?
Being a walking, talking, selling machine.
Being a walking, talking, selling machine.
Work creates work. Because when you're out there working, that's how you get more work. Work creates work.
How many employees do you guys have in all your companies?
All of our companies?
Well, my company, it's just me. I just run just me. I run my social media management company by myself, and I run my apron business by myself. I don't want to do it by myself. I actually need somebody to help me I need help.
I'm tired. I'm done. Do you want to go in the jacuzzi real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to go in the jacuzzi, and we ended up here, and we're glad that we did. All right.
Yeah, I never come up on here.
Tired?
Mm-hmm.
Are you tired?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. See you again soon.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you very soon. Take care. And 10 days, Dan Plata from Blue Skies Bookkeeping Services. I mean, this guy's incredible. He's going to be here in the studio. We're going to put out.
He's coming?
Yeah, he's going to be here March 10th. I told you this.
Oh, cool. No, I thought it got rescheduled. Maybe this was something.
It did get rescheduled.
Okay, cool.
And we're going to talk about small business finances, ROI, financial analytics. It's just, you have to tune in and watch this content. You won't miss it if you go to my channel at Keith Kalfases on YouTube. This is going to be mind blowing.
Because he's with Blue Skies Bookkeeping, right?
Yeah, he's got $1 million bookkeeping business, $1 million employee recruiting agency, and $1 million window cleaning pressure washing company.
Wow.
And
awesome.
All right. Good night, guys. Later.
Good night.
I'm going to wrap up. Go to Keith Kalfases Untrapped on Apple Podcasts, and please leave the show a well-worded, positive 5-star review. It helps boost the rankings of the show. I really, really appreciate it. Hit me up on YouTube, Instagram, at Keith Kalfases, and I can't wait to hear about your success, and I'll see you soon.